Good morning. We're going to start our virtual time together this morning by joining our hearts together in prayer. I invite you to close your outer eyes. No matter where you are, there is so much swirling around us. Taking a deep, cleansing breath helps us move our bodies in the direction of peace. We want to create a place of peace together right now. In peace, we remember God is always in the midst of things. God is in the midst of all things. We give thanks for our ability to connect with one another in spite of our separations. And we affirm for each person, I am never alone. In peace, my heart opens with compassion, and as I calm myself and ground myself, I begin to radiate love into the world. It starts with self, but quickly moves to those closest to us, family, dear friends. It extends to all the people who are working so hard right now, and to all the people who are struggling with anxiety, loneliness, separation, and grief. While we are only beginning to see outcomes, this is a time of intense creativity, inspired vision, and tremendous cooperation on the part of countless souls across the globe. For this, we are truly grateful and we celebrate. Together, we salute the Christ light in the heart of every human that soars in the face of challenge. And so it is.
Holy morn, rise in the desert, follow the sun, follow me down. Holy morn, rise with the eagle. I will be free. Holy morn, rise in the desert, follow the sun, follow me down. Holy morn, rise with the eagle. I will be free. I will be free. I will be free.
Last week we exited the building only to find two eagles circling above. Good morning. My name is Dr. Richard Loren. I'm the spiritual director of Unity in Lynnwood. Always, it is my honor to welcome you into this, a service that we have called Connect. And for those with children, please note that youth and family ministries gatherings are launching at this very moment as well. Credentials are available to you simply by contacting the program director. Her name is Stacy Bailey. All are warmly welcome. We invite you to join us next Sunday. It is Palm Sunday. We will be joined by Reverend Paulette Pipe, who will offer a special meditation and a singing bowls meditation by Dr. Jennifer Lovejoy as well. Pre-service meditation will begin at 10:30. If you are part of our regular in-house audience, what we want you to know is that your parking lot has been repainted, your baseboards are being refreshed, your tile is being repaired. We are blessing every inch, every nook, every corner of this physical space in eager anticipation of basking in the nobility of your presence again. We want you to know that. Now, Unity in Lynnwood enjoys a robust health and wellness ministry. Now, this ministry offers classes and workshops, discussions, presentations throughout any given year. And I've invited program co-chair Linda Babin to join us this morning and to invite us into something of a spiritual practice that I find appropriate to these unusual times. And if you find value in it as well and desire to do this practice again and again and again, her presentation will be extracted and posted to our social media channels. I know you join me in issuing a warm welcome to Linda Babin. Linda Babin, thank you for being here.
Thank you, Dr. Richard. It's an honor to be here. I'm very eager to share an easy yet very powerful tool with you today, and it's something that can help all of us in a time of fear and uncertainty. Fear and anxiety, as I'm sure you've noticed, are a normal and pretty universal response to global pandemic. We've known for a while, though, that living in constant fear and anxiety isn't good for our body's immune system. In fact, it depletes our immune system. The tool I want to share today helps us with that. There are two very important ways the tool, called Quick Coherence, can help us right now. The first is to boost our immune system, and the second is to calm a worry mind and open to our heart's wisdom. It's very good to do both right now, to increase our immunity and to open to greater wisdom. The tool of Quick Coherence was developed over several decades at the Institute of Heart Math, a highly respected educational and research organization in Boulder Creek, California. Because the tool is trademarked, I want to reference the Institute of Heart Math and share their web address with you. You'll see it on your screen. And you can find volumes of information at either heartmath.com or heartmath.org. I'm going to guide us through a few moments of quick coherence now and teach the skill as I go. I want you to have this tool as an option to help you right now. You will see it's simple and it's easy. I learned this tool actually when I worked with children. I used it to help elementary school age children manage anxiety. And there's curriculum going all the way down to preschool. It's consistent with many other approaches for calming and balancing the body, but it may be the quickest and the easiest one to learn, and it may be the most portable too. There are 3 steps to quick coherence. The first step is heart focus. The second step, heart breathing. The third step, heart feeling. So let's do these steps together now. First, let's focus our attention on our heart, and it can help to just put a hand on the heart. We feel the physical warmth even from our hands touching the heart area of our chest. I suggest closing our eyes as we're learning. It makes it a little bit easier, but we won't need to once we've mastered the skill. We're going to slow our breathing now and make it rhythmic. Slow, deep inhale. Slow, relaxed exhale. Breathing in. Breathing out. It takes that long, and each person finds their own tempo. The second step is heart breathing. We just continue this deep, slow, rhythmic breathing in and out as if we were breathing from our heart center. Breathing during meditation usually becomes shallow. Coherent breathing stays deep, rhythmic, yet peaceful. And we bring in refreshing oxygen to the body while we're doing this. The third step is heart feeling. This is where we shift or direct our thinking away from anything that causes worry or stress to something or someone or some place that makes our hearts smile. It might be a loved one, it might be a pet, it might be a dear friend, it might be a wonderful memory or a beautiful picture, vision of nature. The purpose of step 3 is to generate a heart feeling, a feeling of love, gratitude, appreciation, compassion, care, of peace. It is the feeling that matters here, and we want to stay in that feeling. When thoughts intrude or you find yourself problem solving, let it go. Move back to those positive feelings. Picture that gratitude or use an affirmation. I am peace. Let's stay in these spacious heart feelings together for a couple of minutes now, breathing slowly, rhythmically, deeply, and feeling love.
Peace be still. Peace be still. Peace be still. Peace be still. Still be peace. Still be peace. Still be peace. Still be peace. Be here now. Be here now. Be here now. Be here now. Now here be. Now here be. Now here be. Now here be.
I want to mention that soft, soothing, comforting music as background can facilitate learning. It can facilitate getting into that very peaceful place as we just experienced. Thank you, musicians. In the spaciousness we create through coherent heart rhythms, we may find a wisdom or an inspiration that wasn't available to us before. We may suddenly know the next right thing to do. We may just rest here a while. At the end, we're likely to feel renewed and refreshed, and our immune systems will have had a boost. I have a suggestion for practice. And I was actually coincidentally, only a few weeks ago, reminded of the power of this tool in reading about a research study done at a workshop with people only over 4 days, where they were asked to go into coherence for 10 minutes, 3 times a day. And at the end of those 4 days, their immune systems had boosted by about 50%. If that's too much for you, for starters, try 5 minutes a couple of times a day, or even 1 time a day. If you're working with children, I suggest 5 minutes is probably a good time. It's something the family could do right now together. My favorite at the moment is about 15 or 20 minutes of stopping like this a couple of times a day. And I also use the word stopping to remind me. Maybe as I have in recent weeks, I've found myself moving from room to room in my house and not being very productive and not getting much done. And when I catch myself in that mode, I just say stop. And 5 minutes of coherent breathing can bring me back to a focus and a greater calm inside. Some people will be very pleased with this skill because it's calming, relaxing, soothing. Some will be very comforted to know that it will boost our immunity. At this moment in time, I'm very grateful to have this tool. I'm grateful for the reminder I received. And, you know, like many of us, we have tools on our shelves. Now is the time to use them. There is a quote on the Institute of Heart Math's website in an article on coronavirus they posted just last week. I like this, it's powerful. It says, any progress is a lot of progress when reducing fear. Any progress is a lot. So now you have a tool. You can add it to your arsenal of things to do to take good care of yourself. For me, having something I can do when so much is outside my control is very comforting in itself. Please consider trying it out for a week or two to see if this might bring you comfort too. Like all skills, it gets easier, better, more effective with practice. I'm holding you. I'm holding all people in my heart now. I've had a vision as I've been sitting in coherence these past days, and it looks something like hands reaching up across our globe and connecting now, compassionate connections more than ever before. I so look forward to seeing you and hugging lots of people when we're able to do that again. Please be well and take good care.
Thank you, Linda B.
You're welcome.
And thank you, Michelle. Thank you, Cameron. Thank you, Matthew. A boy can sing. Thank you, Scotty. Thank you, Jonesy. Unity in Lynnwood, I love you quite a lot. Today's an exciting day for me. We are being joined by Reverend Dr. Temple Hayes, who is one of my mentors, one of my heroes, one of my lights. I'd like to simply alert you, we will invite you into a giving ritual following today's presentation. Giving vehicles will appear on your screen at the appropriate time. But for now, it is a pleasure to welcome Reverend Dr. Temple Hayes. Reverend Dr. Temple Hayes became a Science of Mind minister in 1991. That's nearly 30 years ago. An ordained Unity minister in 2007. Her published titles include The Right to Be You, How to Speak Unity, and my personal favorite, When Did You Die? Described as a prophet, a mystic for modern times, Temple Hayes is a difference maker, a spiritual leader, an author, an international motivational speaker, humanitarian life rights advocate, a shamanic practitioner. She's president and founder of life-changing nonprofit organization. She serves on the leadership team for the Association for Global New Thought and as CEO and spiritual leader of First Unity Spiritual Campus in St. Petersburg, Florida. It's been written that she sees daily a huge need to help all people, animals, and most especially young people find acceptance in the world and within themselves. Her life and her teachings serve as both example and reminder to live a full and healthy life, and to wake up and to stop dying every day. I know you join me in issuing a warm Unity in Lynnwood welcome to our friend, to my friend, the Reverend Dr. Temple Hayes.
Blessings, Dr. Richard. And when you're talking about heroes and people that are amazing, back at you. Back at you. You are a light. And I knew from the very beginning that we started coming to realize what we were facing with this virus. I thought to myself, I can go on Unity of Lynnwood, and I'm going to see Dr. Richard, and I'm going to see Matthew, and I'm going to see that team go, what are we going to do with this? We're going to do something amazing. We're going to do something positive. We're going to focus with the vision of how we want to land and how we want to walk through this. So many, many blessings to you, my brother. I'm honored to be here, and I will always show up when you ask. So this is the day that the Lord hath made. It's the day that the law is working. It's a law that we allow to work through us. It's a law that's always working, even for people that say it doesn't work. It works for them by not working. It's a natural law. It's an innate law. And now that we are entering into a time of awakening again, a deeper awakening, a heart awakening, we come to realize the power of working with nature and working with those natural laws. That's why people like me and Dr. Richard, and I know you had Marianne Williamson last week, and Reverend Paulette Pipe is coming. That's why we do what we do, is that we center in a place, in an awareness, in a consciousness that says, let's help each other stay awake. There's a statement that says there's one thing stronger than all the armies of the world, and that is an idea whose time has come. When you find yourself in a place of uncertainty, vulnerability, realizing that you must let go of control, even though that is an absolute illusion because we've never been in control in the first place. What you want to do is, instead of closing down, you want to open up. Instead of taking a time out, you want to take a time up. You want to be open and have your heart open to a place that you get that creative new idea. That's the very reason that Unity was founded in the first place, is that there was a virus at that time. There was something going around at that time called tuberculosis. And Myrtle Fillmore was aware that everyone had told her that she had it. But inside herself, she kept as a soul craving this awareness as a soul of, what idea do I need to have to transform beyond this condition? She didn't say, I don't have it. She didn't say, I don't know what you're talking about. She joined the space of knowing that, yes, this is a fact, and I'm seeking a spiritual truth. And that's what we're always doing. That's what we're always doing with everything we're facing in our lives. We either allow our personalities to convince us and collect data and information to convince ourselves that we are right, and we are arrogant, we are self-righteous, and we know what we know, and we can prove our point to us over and over again. See, I told you I couldn't get a good relationship. See, I told you this prosperity stuff doesn't work. Oh yes, we can get our personality to align with us about so many things. Yet, when we come from that place, throughout the course of our lives, we do an immense disservice to the law working through us, to who we are in our creation. It's our soul that we want to integrate this idea, this awareness, this truth. And that's what happened to Myrtle. Myrtle said, my soul is seeking a greater truth, a greater reality. within me, my soul invokes this presence and this power and this knowing right now. And there is what happened. As we know, she ran into a wonderful orator that said, "You are a child of God, and therefore you do not have to inherit disease." And the rest is history. That a movement was started because of the soul idea, the soul awareness, that soul connection. And so I invite you to think about and journal this week and talk online with your community and friends. What is your soul calling forth within you right now? Not your personality, not data, not facts, but that deepening of you. We have a university here online with our own community, and our mission statement is we activate the soul's mission so we may open the heart of the world. Isn't that where we're at right now? On the collective, in race consciousness, we're all activating our soul's mission so we may open the heart of the world. We've never had a better time in our history that we can do that. I love the story of a missionary from Africa that was coming to Houston to a convention, and she brought a number of African ministers with her from a very small town there in Africa. And she told them, she said, go ahead and go shopping. I know you want to do that. But if you think or get concerned that you're lost, then I want you to go to the 2 streets, north, south, east, west. I want you to go to the street signs, find a payphone, pick up the phone, give me a call. This is obviously before cell phones. And give me a call, let me know where you are, and I will come and get you. And so when she called the pastor and said, "Well, where are you?" He said, "I'm not really sure, but I'm at the street. Walk and don't walk." And I love that awareness, because I'm at the place, at the corner of walk, don't walk. Wow, you can feel that in your gut, can't you? You can feel that in your psyche. Your energy can identify with that thought within yourself. Do I walk? Do I not walk? Do I shut down? Do I open up? It's a good thing that when we were babies, we made the decision, as many times as we fell, as many times as we banged our head, as many times as we were knocked down, that somewhere within us on one particular day, our soul said, "It's time for me to walk." And we grasped the wind. We captured the moment. It's like we elevated with wings and that little baby body that all of a sudden, as people were in awe and were cheering, we continue to make the decision to walk. Well, I urge you to think about that. That's where you are right now, and that's where I am right now. That's where we are in this space, in the history of our world, and the time with our planet. You can certainly decide to go over to the sidelines and not walk. You can be yet another time of being entertained and watching and observing. Or you can take advantage of this time and realize on the collective, people like your wonderful leaders and musicians and teachers at your community are doing the same thing and joining so many of us, millions and millions of us across the world, that are saying, we are walking. We are awake. We're fully awake. And it requires daily check-ins with ourselves to make sure of being in that level of being awake, of being attentive to what is around us and what is available, because we do believe in new thought and race consciousness. And race consciousness on the collective is being bombarded with personality orientation, personality conversations, personality of be afraid, of be overly concerned. And yes, we need to use spiritual wisdom. Of course we do. We need to be aware. That's why we have our divine intelligence. But we can do all of that and yet come from a place without fear. Fear is a stop point, not a motivator. Fear stops us from allowing our heart to be wide open and our souls to feel that presence and that love and that energy of life. It negates the wonderful vibration that we have. And so we are bound by principle now that we have this tremendous opportunity to say, I am awake. Turn to somebody right now and tell them, I am awake. I am awake. I am vibrant. I am alive. I am dynamic. I am God's creation. I am whole. I am walking. I am standing in a truth that is greater than anything I have ever known in my life. I call forth this greater energetic presence and power of God. As a matter of fact, I've just tapped the surface in the past days of my life, because now I am opening to my superhero suit of what it is like to be accessible to spirit. This is a time for us to move past being self-centered to being centered with the self. I love to say, be full of spirit. Don't be full of yourself. Be full of spirit, the infinity and the wholeness and everything that is available to you. The medicine that all of us can use right now is to simply say, we are too blessed to be stressed. We are definitely too blessed to be stressed. And that's the activation within your soul. The moment you declare, I am too blessed to be stressed. As a matter of fact, take the time now and write in those comments. Write in those comments what you're blessed about, what you hold true, what opens your soul, what has touched your life, what matters to you. That for me is that I am sober. For me, I am alive. For me, oh my gosh, I survived myself. I mean, I just sometimes can't believe it. I've already doubled my life expectancy because I survived myself. I am alive. I am awake. I have friends. I have colleagues like Dr. Richard. You have this wonderful community that instead of taking permanent snow days, they decided now would be a time to maintain and upgrade. Now would be a time to have a new parking lot and uplift everything. You are so fortunate to be part of a vibration that's about walking and moving forward. That's about that recognition of the power. This is a time for us to let go of all complaining. And that's not a new concept with Reverend Edwin Gaines or with the book, A Complaint-Free World. But I would urge you for the next 21 to 30 days in that window of time to not complain. Don't complain because the items you were looking for in the grocery store, they don't have. Think about globally how many places don't have a grocery store. And don't complain that you're having to stay at home now. Give thanks that you have a home that you can stay at. It's all how you hold the place and hold the power, because with our thoughts being prayers, with our energetic presence, we are always praying in. We are always calling in. Let someone see your heart. Let someone feel your heart. And when you are in the practice of your heart, you can tell you're there because your eyes get watery on the side. Open yourself that deep to that wealth of love, that wellspring of love that is forever and ever and ever giving of itself. You can't outgive it. You will never outlive it. And it's giving you so many blessings that are 100-fold in every way. Walk, be awake, count your immense blessings of what is possible in your life and what you can do. One of my most challenging times in my early days of ministry, I was in my 30s. I had the calling when I was 5, so that wasn't really a quick period of time from 5 to 33 before I started my first ministry. But as I grew in ministry, I transferred to another community and it didn't work out. And one thing led to another thing. And the point is that all of a sudden, this magnet of things working out and flowing in the law of attraction, it's just like whatever I picked, it didn't seem to be working. And the more I resisted, the more it appeared and the more it seemed to not be working. But what was going on underneath is I was being invited as a soul to let go of control. I was being invited to let go of the ways I had always done it. I was invited to let go of doing ministry the way that I had learned that other people did it, or following them, or copying what they were doing. I was invited to go to a deeper part in myself that I've got to tell you, I didn't even know was there. It was so layered with conditions and people pleasing and the needing to belong and the needing to fit in. There was so many layers that there was very little authenticity that had the ability in the impact to come through. But in those defining moments, that dark night for the soul, I want you to know I woke up and I began to walk. I walked towards a place that I had avoided most of my life. And that was the truth of my own being. When you know that you are spirit-led, that you are God-created, that you are not a mistake, you have this capacity to allow this energetic space to unfold within you. This is the day that the law hath made. How are you going to allow it to work in your life? Thank you for having me. It's my pleasure, my endless pleasure, to be with you this day. Namaste.
And namaste, Temple Hayes. Thank you so much for being here with us and reminding us what an opportunity for opening up, for stepping up, for moving forward. We're going to pause this morning, as we do each week, to give people an opportunity to express their appreciation for Unity in Lynnwood through financial gifts as they are able to make. Our Board of Trustees has done a nice job of keeping our community informed via email about the creative work that's going on here behind the scenes in the management of the church's budget. Of course, most of our costs are fixed, and fixed costs don't go away just because the world shuts down. We thank you deeply for the continuing financial gifts that have arrived, and we want to show you a few very easy, quick ways that you could support our community now while you're at home. You'll see on your screen our website, unityinlynnwood.org, where we can accept credit cards, direct electronic funds deposit. There's a text. Simply text GIVE to the number on your screen, or if you'd prefer to mail in a donation, the address is there on your screen as well.
Into your hands I commit my spirit. Into your hands I commit my soul. Oh Lord, I don't know what the divine plan is. I can't make sense of what I can't see, but I know that it's in order beyond my wildest dreams. Into your hands I commit my spirit. Into your hands I commit my soul. Into your hands I surrender. Into your hands, oh Lord. Serenity is not the absence of life going on around me. It's the stillness I find at any moment, and the truth that sets me free. Into your hands I commit my spirit. Into your hands I commit my soul. Into your hands I surrender. Into your hands, oh Lord. Into your hands, oh Lord. Into your hands, oh Lord.
I want to express again our sincere gratitude for all donations given. And I have to share that I'm not sure I've ever felt as appreciative of my spiritual home, my community here, as I do in these times when I feel such a sense of connection in spite of the fact that I can't even see most of you. I want to bless the gifts that have been given. May they bless both giver and receiver as they support the work of love in the world. And so it is.
Reverend Dr. Temple Hayes, you are a light, a light. My heart bounds with gratitude. Do I have the best heroes or what? Whew. So here's what we're doing. Reverend Nina's Wednesday service, it's called Spiritual Awakenings, a healing service, is scheduled for the 8th of April, Wednesday evening, 7 o'clock. This service, as you know, boasts a standing recipe that is shared at 6 o'clock. So we have posted that recipe to our social media vehicles. You are invited to make the soup in your own home and to write administration@unityinlynnwood.org, get the credentials, and Zoom your Wednesday evening dinner with your community. Now, if you don't cook, it's It's okay. You're still welcome. Spiritual Saturdays with Rabbi Ted Falcon. Also, a streamed event is upcoming on April 18th. His services are always at 11 o'clock in the mornings. And we want you to know that our women's retreat with Ricky Byers has been postponed. We are awaiting a reschedule date on that. So if you have registered, please contact the office. We are happy to keep you posted or otherwise to make arrangements with you. How delighted I am to be with you always this morning. Let us close with a time of prayer. As I've said so many times before, I like to consider that we're always praying, that we're always praying. We're always bringing something of a quality of beingness into our co-creative life experience. And so what we call prayer then becomes a moment of intentionality injected into the prayers that are already underway. What we call prayer then is a moment of elevation brought to the prayers that are already underway. So let's do that. Let's bring a moment of intentionality. Let's bring a moment of elevation to the everyday prayers. And then let's extend them beyond this time together into the remainder of our hours of earthly doingness. Shall we do that? Let's close those outer eyes together. Let us close those outer eyes that would speak to us of limitation, of separation, of partiality. Let us close those outer eyes that would offer such small ideas of what is true. So we close those outer eyes yet again, not that we would turn from the truth, but that we might know a higher truth. We close those outer eyes that we might open the very spiritual eyes of us that know nothing of limitation, the spiritual eyes that know nothing of separation, the spiritual eyes that know nothing of partiality. We close the sensory eyes that we might open the spiritual eyes to all that we hold God to be. So in this moment of intentionality, in this moment of elevation then, we open the spiritual eyes of us to life, unopposed, unopposable, life without beginning, life without end. We open the spiritual eyes of us to life. And we open the spiritual eyes of us to sufficiency. We were not born into lack. We open the spiritual eyes of us to a sufficiency ample to any experience of incompletion or need. We open the spiritual eyes of us to wisdom, to a realm of all knowingness, by whatever name we choose to call it. We open the spiritual eyes of us to a wisdom, yet again, ample to any sense of confusion or question. And we open those spiritual eyes to a harmony that knows what it's doing, a harmony that seeks and presses, that seems to long to make itself known in this world of form, through human hands, through human hearts, such as ours. We open the spiritual eyes of us to harmony. This is the prayer we offer then. We do not dally and tarry in that world of partiality, limitation, and separation, but we stand firmly planted in all that we know God to be. This is our prayer. It is our position. It is the gift we share. It is the commitment we make. And so if you're like me, in this remembering, we find ourselves giving rise to a sense of gratitude. And we allow that to be. And if this is a position in the consciousness, if this is a spiritual argument you're willing to make with me, let's close our time together simply by saying, and so it is. And so it is. And so it is. And we send you into your week with words of blessing. Words of blessing delivered in a way that only Matthew can deliver.
May the long time sun shine upon you, all love surround you, and the pure light within